What's up, YouTube? I know it's been a while since we posted a video, and I've come across a few things that I should have did a video on, and just seems like it's always a rush to try to get things done. But this is a very good subject. I want to give you some background on what we're doing today. We were able to purchase a really nice 2010 King Ranch in really good shape. It does have some miles on it. Runs great, no issues with the engine. I've only got one code in it remaining that I need to fix. It has to do with the fan clutch, and we're going to take care of that in just a minute. But it's a pretty nice truck, and got a really good deal. Come out of Texas, so no rust, and good tires, good brakes, transmission's good, and all that stuff. But it did have a few issues. The truck does have a sunroof, and they actually make a repair kit for these. That when I got the truck, it was someone had taped the sunroof to the metal roof of the truck because the tracks were broken and it was obviously leaking. So took care of that, and just some odds and ends, little things, and nothing major. We've got on the other side, I'm missing this end cap right here on the other side, so I got that ordered, and it'll be here before long. By the way, if you guys have this particular type running board and you're missing the end cap, if you will comment down there, I can get you the part numbers. It was a real pain to try to find the part numbers because originally they sold the running board as a unit. I did manage to find the correct part number for the cap on the other side. I'll show that. Might as well just walk over there too. So, but anyway, you can see that's the cap I need. So I did find the part number and get that ordered. But anyway, enough rambling. So this is what we're doing today. As I told you, the fan clutch is going to have to be replaced, and we got it out right here. We're going to disassemble it and go to the parts store. While we're in here, we're also doing belts. I did check out all the idlers and tensioners, and everything looks good. Water pump looks good. But we're doing belts. But what I wanted to, if I can get you a picture, what I wanted to show, the main thing I'm into is the front seal. And I'm going to go underneath and show you. I apologize for the camera flipping all around, but as you can see, there's a lot of oil under there. And I'm going to show you the bottom. You see how clean that is? Especially right there underneath where the seal goes. Again, sorry for the camera angles. But anyway, it's been leaking for a long while. Looking back underneath the truck, I did have the trans pan off and service the transmission, but looking back on the cross member, and even if you go to the back of the truck, I mean, this thing's been leaking a long while. All the way back to the rear axle, you can see, you know, where oil's been. Thankfully, somebody was wise enough to keep good check on the oil and not run the truck without oil. But we're gonna fix that seal. Now, I wanna show you what happened and why it's leaking. If you're watching this video, you're probably already done your research, and you probably know enough that you're going to be doing the seal yourself, so I won't go into all of that. 6.4s and even 6.0s are bad for the front seals to leak from the factory. They had a really poorly designed seal. They have updated that seal, and generally those seals work really good. So I'm going to give you the information. This is the new seal, and I'm going to try to turn it where you can get the part number off the seal. There you go. You might want to pause that and get that part number. This is the original, or not the original, but the updated Motorcraft seal. Here's the bag, and so I can get it spread out where you can get the part number. There is the part number. This is a Ford Motorcraft part. Now I'm showing you that because I want to show you or point out the importance. I've said this for years of using Motorcraft parts and Ford parts on 6.0, 6.4, 6.7, 7.3s, especially 6.0s and 6.4s, and I'm not exceptionally familiar with 6.7s, but I'm going to go ahead and say 6.7s as well. 7.3s are some things that you can, you know, maybe use aftermarket, but I can't tell you the number of times that I've had stuff in here that somebody else has worked on, and it's not been long since there was a repair made, and now we have an issue. And it's a lot of times it's because, you know, aftermarket parts are used. So here's my recommendation. on anything you replace on these trucks, engine, especially engine related, you're either going to want a Motorcraft part, or if you can find out who makes the part, what company, what name company makes the part for Ford, then go with that. For instance, on a 6.0, there's a company called Racor, R-A-C-O-R, that makes the filters, the fuel filters and oil filters for Ford, and you can get a few dollars savings over an actual Motorcraft boxed filter. You pull the two filters out, same part number, same patent, whole 9 yards. So do your research, make sure you're either getting a Ford part or the company who makes it for Ford. Don't rely on, oh, okay, this is an aftermarket part and it's equivalent to. No, either get a Ford part or whoever makes the part for Ford, okay? And I said that to say this. I'm going to show you the seal that I pulled out. It is a little mangled from where I pulled it out. And I'm going to show it to you, and you can see the difference. So here's the seal that I took out. And if we lay it beside this seal, you can tell it's meant to be a really close imitation. But as you can tell, there's no part number on the seal, and it's green out here. Now, I don't know, I've never seen, all the Motorcraft seals look like this. It's green inside here and raw metal here. So I won't say that it being green on the lip edge here have anything to do. I mean, maybe Ford did have something like that, but all I've seen look like this. So this is some sort of aftermarket seal, and I can verify that because I have no part number here, no part number there, no part number here. I mean, there's no part number on it anywhere, no name, no nothing. And I'm going to show you, or tell you, when I took this out, this, if I can get it apart here one-handed. So this is the actual seal. This part here seals up to the oil pump housing. And this part in here seals up to that ring. The ring presses onto the front of the crank. Okay, so number one, we've got a part that's obviously not a Motorcraft Ford part, or the company who makes them for Ford. Sometimes it'll be Fel-Pro or Malley or something like that. So let me show you this. If I can get a good angle on it, trying to get where the light's right. All right, so if you can see this, there are a couple of small burrs on the crank that I'm going to clean up before I put the new seal in. One of them you can see right here, I think. I feel one little place that may have caused this mark. For some reason, I have a feeling that's not all that caused this to be like it is. All right, so let me see if I can get this camera stable here. All right, so if you look, starting right here, going around to right here, I'm on focus. From here to here, that has been in pretty good contact with the crank. All right, over here, and especially on this side, very little contact at all. All right, so when I took this out, this was on the front of the engine, the oil pump like that, and I took a screwdriver and just put right behind it to see if I could get it out without a lot of struggle. And believe it or not, this popped right off. And the reason for that is because it's not been in good contact with the crank. And secondly, whoever put this in did not use the Ford recommended procedure of using Loctite. You're supposed to put Loctite in here on this ring before you install it on the crank. So if you're putting one of these in, clean the front of the crank snout meticulously. Clean it, with a dry, clean rag, lint-free rag. Clean it with brake cleaner. Make sure there's no burrs on it. And then you use Loctite in here. Blue is what they recommend. And Loctite too, for years Loctite was a very liquidy type thing. I actually have some now that's more pasty. The pasty would probably be better, but that's just my thoughts on it. And then the next thing you're going to need is this. And I'm going to try to roll this around and get you a part number. There are some aftermarket companies that make these. I won't speak as to the quality. This is an OTC. You can see the part number there. So that's what you're going to need to put that seal back in properly. Can you put it in without this? Absolutely. Have I put them in without it? Yep, sure have. And successfully. But foolproof, you need that tool and this seal, the Motorcraft seal. So make sure when you're doing the front seal on these 6.4s, I'm telling you, I've done them before, and I used to pull everything off the front. I would pull, you know, bumper, the whole 9 yards to get in there to it. But I have since found out that it's possible to do it if you're doing either water pump, fan, belts, tensioners, idlers, anything like that. If you'll take the bolts out of the cradle, there's 2 up here and 1 right down here on both sides, to where there's some movement in that cradle. There's enough room to get everything out and be able to get down there to that crank seal. Not easy, but it's still a whole lot easier than pulling everything off the front. So just a couple of tips there. Just make sure that you're using Ford parts, and or the company that makes them, and go ahead and get the tools. That tool right there, if I recall, that tool that puts it in is like $350 or $400 new for that particular brand. And I bought that tool off of eBay sometime back. I just happened to be scrolling through, and I found it for, I think it's less than $100 shipped to me. And you can tell, I mean, it's been used very little. So I can't speak to the other aftermarket ones. They may be fine, but I do know that one works. So get the tool, get the right seal, get the Motorcraft seal. Once again, there's the part number. Make sure you get some Loctite in here. Make sure your crank snout's good and smooth and clean, and you'll have good success. And then just before I end the video, I've read a few stories on some of the forums, and I actually had a guy call me that was having trouble with the seal blowing out. Like, put a new seal in and, you know, blow it out. And it got me worried because, you know, the 6.4s in particular, there's 6.0s too, but the 6.4s in particular, they run a lot of boost, and they run a really large ring gap from the factory. So it, a nearly new 6.4 is going to have some blow by. And I just was concerned. I got to thinking, I thought, man, you know, is that something of concern, you know, now that we're seeing a lot of higher mileage engines, that we're going to be able to put a brand new seal in with the right tool and do it properly and still have it blow out. And so I did a lot of research on it, and from what I can find, it's not a concern normally. So anyway, got to talking to the guy, and the seal that blew out was a green face seal like this one. Whatever, Advance, AutoZone, whatever, Amazon, I don't know. So use a Ford seal. Use the right tool. Use the right procedure. And you won't be 2.5, 3 hours into a teardown. Well, maybe not that long, but you get the idea. Quite a bit of work to get to it. So make sure you're doing things. I mean, you're talking, the Ford seal now is $25. So I can't imagine, you know, I mean, what are you going to get, a store brand seal for $15? So you save $10. I mean, you can't even buy lunch for $10. So, you know, use good stuff, do it the right way with the right tools, and you'll save yourself a lot of trouble. I'm convinced that there's probably been a whole lot more than $10 worth of oil lost out of that seal. There's a couple of $100 worth of oil as a rust preventative measure under this truck. So I guess if there's a plus to it, you know, being oil soaked underneath has probably helped protect it with the rust. But anyway, all right, guys, hope that'll help somebody out a little bit. I try to post this stuff up as I come across it. I mean, I pull my hair out on different things, and you know, when I finally find the information on anything that might be helpful, I want to get it posted. There's actually a video on my channel there maybe the first one I posted of a trailer brake controller that I just did some research and found, just by chance, found what was wrong and repaired it. And it's got a lot of views and helped a lot of people, I'm sure. And so that's what I want to do. I want to help somebody. So if you're into a 6.4 front crank seal replacement, maybe this will help you out a little bit. All right, guys, appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help us promote the channel. Maybe somebody else can get some help as well. All right, good day. God bless you.